into the chat right now with Jason Falinski, the Liberal member for Mackellar, and, well, she's Labor to her bootstraps, but also represents local council oh so well, none other than Linda Scott. Now, let's try and race through a few things here. The fake independents, the jerks with Mercs, the get-ups with Audis, whatever you want to call them, got all the names in the world for them. Now, they claim they got $7 million to go after people like you, Jason, and, of course, the Northern Beaches, hoping they can pull off Zali. Now, in part, who knows exactly how much money they got, but all of this is about scaring people like yourself to say they've got so much cash that you couldn't possibly fight back against them. Well, give me an idea. How are you fighting them? Because there's plenty of free media and a free ride in lots of other parts of the press, but how do you take on these fakes?
Mate, it's pretty simple. It's the power of ideas. Politics, at the end of the day, is about people and about ideas. And the problem with Simon Holmes Court and his mates is that what we're seeing here is the trust fund kids of Australia trying to play out the fact that they didn't get the right colour Porsche for their 18th birthday and now they want to buy the Australian Parliament. So that's what we're saying. We're saying, they just see this as some sort of corporate takeover. No ideas, no interaction with the Australian people, no concern about what they need, their wants, their desires, how to make their life easier. It's all about, look how much money we have, that's why you should vote for us. And by the way, Paul, it's not about cars, it's about a Tesla. Thank you very much. It's not get up with the Lexus, it's get up with the Tesla.
Good point. All right, I'll add it to the list. Now, Linda, obviously on the other side of things for the Labor Party, while mathematically this is all wonderful because it might be one or two less from the evil Liberal Party, the reality is that it doesn't go straight to the Labor Party, right? Which means you in that minority government scenario, the swirls of uncertainty around all of this. What's your view about the number of people, particularly what seems to be demographically women sort of 35 to 50, that this seems to be a very attractive wrench to throw in the system, a little bit like Trump was for a certain group of people back in 2016. But the reality is if you don't have a major party lower House MP, their capacity to actually get anything for the community is legitimately diminished, isn't it?
That is true, Paul, and I'm surprised to hear Jason criticising these people as trust fund babies, given the number of trusts I know, because people have to declare them in the front bench of the current government. But it's also, I think, very fair to say that, of course, the independents are no friends to Labor either. I, myself, have just been in an election where our independent Lord Mayor in the City of Sydney was elected for a historic number of terms. They run against the Labor Party and have done for many years and have taken positions off Labor federally and at state levels and, of course, locally as well. I think the issue, though, is that these independents around the nation do appear to be uniting on issues that the government hasn't addressed. Climate change, integrity in government.
They're a party.
And, well, I don't know whether they're a party or not.
Oh, they've all got the same financial backer, the same coloured T-shirt and the same messaging. That's a party.
Same technology, same funding source, same everything. I mean, if they're fake independents, they're just absolutely franchised.
Yes,
I mean,
sorry,
this
Linda.
idea that they're not coordinated.
Jason, you're in government, so you can have a look at the electoral laws and decide for yourself as a government if there's some problem there.
Every time we try to change them to make them more transparent, the Labor Party, the Greens and the Independents in the Senate block us from doing that.
No giant surprise there.
Anyway, I'll finish my point. The three issues, climate change, integrity in government and respect for women, are three issues that manifestly the government has failed to address community concerns about.
So why don't two of those matter in Labor seats?
Absolutely surprising. They all matter in Labor seats, but
they're
Labor,
not running in any of those
these
seats.
issues, has put forward a plan to address those issues of deep community concern. I find it astonishing that the Prime Minister and the government have not yet put forward a plan in those policy ideas that Jason is so keen about to ensure that they're addressing those community concerns.
All right. Now, before we get off on all of that, because that could take up the rest of the show, let's talk about this Christian school in Queensland that apparently had made a decision to ask its parents to sign that all of their kids will absolutely remain of the gender of which they are born. Here is the principal defending that move a bit earlier today.
After we emailed the new contracts to each family, some people have criticised the college and said that we are discriminating against gay and transgender students. This is not the case. While I've been principal of the college, we have not expelled or refused to enrol any student on the basis that they are gay or transgender.
But were they late for class 2 days in a row and therefore got it? Who knows? For their part, the Queensland government says this.
The Human Rights Commissioner has warned the school that you cannot contract out of your legally binding anti-discrimination laws in this state. Look, in this day and age, to see this happening is actually quite unbelievable.
Now, Linda, all of us are going to be in agreement here that there is no need to threaten a kid in a class like this about their sexuality. I find no truck here that if you're a school that takes $1 of any sort of subsidy, that you are able to do something like this. And even then, I think if it's a fully private facility, they shouldn't be able to do so as well. Because just as I say about certain faiths that say it's okay for people under the age to get married, religious law does not trump the law of the land. What do you think about this scenario here where understandably people are enraged by all of this, but then the supporters of the school will say, well, you know, this is important reference to our religion?
Well, we've seen today the parents of the school publishing in the Fairfax papers saying that the school, they fear, has been emboldened by the religious discrimination bill. And it's so devastating. Indeed, it's just infuriating to see these kinds of actions where a school is not only trying to discriminate against children, it's clearly trying to discriminate even against the parents of children who attend this school by asking them to sign a contract that conflicts with their own religious beliefs. This is just hate speech. Comparing a man and a man in an adult loving relationship that is legal in Australia, where they are legally allowed to get married, to other people's behaviour, which is absolutely criminal. I'm not even going to repeat what they said because it's so abhorrent, is just disgraceful in 2022. It's infuriating to me personally and so many millions of Australians. And frankly, it is also discriminatory. So how this school thinks they can get away with it when their own parents are speaking out about this on the basis of their own religious beliefs is just, it's frankly astonishing.
Well, you've got to think that the parents, of course, are the customers of the school and therefore they're going to lose business as a result of the decision. Jason, your thoughts?
Well, absolutely, Paul. And I'd probably go further and just say that, you know, the whole point of the Religious Discrimination Act is to actually get people to stop discriminating, not to allow discrimination to occur. And, you know, the one thing that when I listen to parents in my area and all sorts of parts of Australia is that they are fed up with schools telling children how to live. And I think that goes on both sides of the fence. So this what is going on is just appalling. It is happening under the current law, not under the new law. And the whole point of that law is to stop all forms of discrimination, and it would not allow this sort of discrimination to occur.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, Linda, I've got about 30 seconds here. Overall thoughts about where the politics is heading going into the year. Are you feeling like, you know, over the line, 2019, a bad dream, it's all finished, start measuring the curtains? Laura Tingle told us it's okay.
No, look, absolutely. I think it's very challenging for Labor, and we absolutely go into this federal election that's now likely to be in May as an underdog. But there's open speculation tonight in the Fairfax papers that the Prime Minister is under a leadership threat. So there's a lot of unpredictability before we get to March, even to May. And I think Australians need to understand who they're going to be voting for as the Liberal leader. So hopefully Jason can clarify that.
Jason, I'm not even going to ask you to respond because your response then gets run in breakfast news and this bullshit rolls on and on and on. So please. Thank you very much, one and all. Do appreciate it. The desperation, not on
Thanks, Paul. Thanks,
the
Linda.
journos trying to, you know, whip, here we go. Did they see the interview we did a bit earlier tonight? Thank you, guys. Do appreciate it. That's